Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Gaza! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Gaza, don't you cry! We will never let you die! Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry! We will never let you die! Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry! Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry! We will never let you die! We will never let you die! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
The necessity of being here is to show support for the Palestinians and for those who stand with them. One thing that we all need to do is stand with those Americans who are willing to stand up for Palestine. People like Ralph Nader in Congress, Dennis Kucinich, a handful of others. In the media, Glenn Greenwald of Salon.com, Naomi Klein of The Nation, and most recently, and perhaps most importantly, Jon Stewart of The Daily Show, who did a remarkable show when he first came back. It's about January 5th, after a 2-week vacation, and went after Congress, went after the media, went after Israel for presenting this as a one-sided Israeli show. That's a big deal. Second thing we need to do is to start thinking long-term. Naomi Klein has recently written an article where she talks about a boycott of Israel, which would be in the same genre as the boycott of South Africa that helped bring down the racist apartheid regime in the 1980s and 90s. That's the sort of thing that would entail people putting their money where their mouth is. You don't invest in any business that does business with Israel. The universities would need to be pressured to divest their investments in companies that did business with Israel. When alumni are contacted to contribute to their old college, they should say, I'm only going to contribute to a fund which will go to the college when the college embraces the boycott of Israel. People need to then set up alternative funds, trust funds, which would go to the college of their choice, but the college only gets it when it embraces the boycott of Israel. And that means the college doesn't invest with any companies that do business with Israel. It has worked before, and the similarities between Israel's treatment of the Palestinians and the white South Africans' treatment of the blacks under apartheid are strikingly similar, and in some cases even worse. So that's what we need to do, support our people who stand up to Israel, think in the long term for a boycott of Israel, and when the crowds are gathered, we show up and we raise our voice.
What do you think about the fact that people will say, well, Israel needs to protect her borders? Israel's just protecting herself.
That's garbage. The death and injuries over the last several years among Palestine and Israel are 1 in 200 to 1. The idea that they need to defend themselves against a Gaza which has no army, no air force, no navy, it's a joke. The handful of rockets that are fired, 99% of them land in empty space, and the notion that Hamas is in any sense the aggressor is total nonsense to anyone who knows the story. It was Israel that broke the ceasefire on November 4th by attacking and killing a number of Hamas members in Gaza. It was Israel which has been choking off Gaza, not letting in food, fuel, medicine, food, slowly strangling and freezing the people there during the entire period of the ceasefire, trying to force Hamas to respond in the only way they could. So the idea that Israel is somehow defending itself is a cruel lie.
Do you have a response to the resolution just passed by Congress?
In the Glenn Greenwald article last week in Salon.com, he spoke about the myth that American people support Israel. Congress supports Israel with 99% certainty, but and the resolution was typically completely one-sided and completely dishonest. It passed almost unanimously through the House and Senate, unanimously through the Senate. The truth of the matter is that, as Greenwald explained, Republicans are relatively unanimous in their support of Israel. Among Democrats, they are opposed to this war on Gaza by 24%. And yet the Democratic politicians are so afraid of the Israeli lobby and its willingness to spend money and dominate media coverage and to take out any congressmen or senators that will stand up to Israel, they all knuckle under. What we need to do is apply some pressure on the other side to make it not okay to stand with Israel, to make it risky to stand with Israel, because the people of America are on our side.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! This is a genocide! This is a genocide! This is a genocide! Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! Occupation is a crime! Occupation is a crime! From Iraq to Palestine! From Iraq to Palestine! Stop the killing! Stop the crime! Stop the killing! Stop the crime! Israel out of Palestine! Israel out of Palestine! Stop drinking Starbucks! Stop drinking Starbucks! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Gaza! Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry! Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry! We will never let you die! 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 Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Gaza!
Any food that you buy, anything that has on it the country prefix 729 in the barcode is made in Israel. Do not buy it. Boycott places that sell it. That's country prefix 729 in the barcode. Now why don't we want to drink Starbucks? Why don't we want to support Starbucks? The chairman and CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz, is an active Zionist. He has been supporting the state of Israel and has won awards for how much money he has given the Zionist entity. Demand that he pull all the money out of Israel until the occupation is done, until the occupation is over. No more Starbucks. Say no to Starbucks!
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 What other companies? Your limited stores, believe it or not. Victoria's Secret, Bath Body Works, the president and CEO, all you young ladies here, okay? Our people are making sacrifices in Gaza, in the West Bank, inside the Green Line. Stop buying from the limited stores, Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works. How about the Home Depot? Would you believe the Home Depot gives millions to Israel? Its founder and co-chair of the board is an active Zionist. He created a pro-Israel media called the War Room, whose function is to ensure that all media in the U.S. stays biased in favor of Israel. Say no to Home Depot!
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 Disney is another company that is Zionist-owned and supported. Disney portrays that Jerusalem is inside of Israel. Say no to Disney!
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 Okay, ladies, Estee Lauder. Say no to Estee Lauder.
Say no to Estee Lauder!
Say no to Estee Lauder.
Say no to Estee Lauder!
Estee Lauder's chairman, Ronald Lauder, is also the one-time chairman of the Confederence of Presidents of major American Jewish organizations. He is currently the president of the Jewish National Fund, which has stolen Palestinian land. Say no to Estee Lauder!
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 Sarah Lee is another company. This is not to be confused with the dessert company Sarah Lee. This is the company that makes Hanes, Playtex, Legs, and Champions. And what they do is that they manufacture clothing on stolen Palestinian land. Say no to Sarah Lee!
Say no to Sarah Lee!
Everybody knows how bad Nestle is. Everybody knows how bad Nestle is. Nestle's even worse than you thought. Nestle company is giving millions of dollars to the Zionist entity. Say no to Nestle.
Say no to Nestle.
Say no to Nestle.
Say no to Nestle.
It owns 50% of Israeli food maker Osem Investments. So read your products and say no to Nestle.
Say no to Nestle.
Here's another one. Okay, Timberland. Everybody familiar with Timberland clothing and boots? Say no to. I hear some cries here. Our people in Palestine are sacrificing with their lives. Say no to Timberland.
Say no to Timberland.
Say no to Timberland.
Say no to Timberland.
The president and CEO, Jeffrey Schwartz, is an active Zionist. Say no to Timberland.
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 Another one, Kimberly Clark. Kimberly Clark owns Huggies, Kotex, Kleenex. Say no to Kimberly Clark.
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 The chairman of Kimberly Clark received the Jubilee Award by the Israeli Prime Minister back then, Netanyahu. Say no to Kleenex.
Say no to Kleenex.
Say no to Kleenex.
Say no to Kleenex.
For our baby's sake, say no to Huggies.
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 If you want to help us with the new campaign to boycott and divest from Israel, if you want to help us prevent money from killing our people, prevent our own money, join the new campaign in Oregon, the campaign to boycott and divest. Contact me here. You can give us your name and information, and we can work together to prevent our dollars from going back to steal our land, to kill our people. Say no to genocide.
Say no to genocide.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Long live Palestine.
Long live Palestine.
Stop bombing Gaza.
Stop bombing Gaza.
Stop bombing Gaza.
Stop bombing Gaza.
This is a genocide.
What our politicians are supporting is beyond the pale. Israel has gone so far now that mainstream Americans are starting to wake up, and there's a crack in the wall of complicity. Columnists are openly saying how ashamed they are of what we are supporting and what Israel is doing. They're tired of this war on terror that takes so many innocent lives. Bill Moyers has also spoken out against the use of our politicians of just rampant violence, allow rampant violence to occur on civilians is abominable. And they're starting to realize it. It's up to us, though. Our politicians are in lockstep with this massacre. Our mainstream politicians. And it's time for the grassroots of the Democratic Party and other political parties to get in their parties and tell them this is absolutely unacceptable. I want everyone to start to call not just the politicians, it's time to call the political parties. Call your local political officials, your political parties, your state officials. They're all part of a system that elects these people, and they all need to know that we're fed up with this.
Sick of it.
But the crack in the wall, I believe, is growing. And I just heard today an interview by CBS correspondent Bob Simon on the Charlie Rose show. And he said he went to the West Bank, saw what was going on there, and has decided that the two-state solution is dead, and that the next step for Israel is it's going to create an apartheid system for the Palestinians. And this is going to be on 60 Minutes, he said. So here's a mainstream journalist starting to say what is really happening over there. And he said also that if American politicians had the will, they could stop what was happening. So I urge us all, I believe the boycott campaign is absolutely essential. Naomi Klein with the shock doctrine, she has come out in favor of a boycott, divestment, sanctions, and that's absolutely essential. And the continued pressure on our politicians until they're absolutely sick of us, because we're sick of them.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Long